I am very pleased to represent the government of Jamaica at today's launch of the Caribbean Regional Conference on the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And as Bruno outlined, it's really a 4-in-1 event. The conference will be held in Kingston in June 2017 under the theme Caribbean Development, the 2030 Agenda in Perspective. And it's a collaborative effort between the government of Jamaica, the University of the West Indies, and the United Nations Development Programme. It is expected to provide a forum for stakeholders to establish partnerships for development across sectors and within and among countries. With the adoption of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development in September 2015, 193 countries presented a shared vision for the future of the planet. That is a world where no one lives in poverty and where everyone lives in dignity. This ambitious agenda, with its 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets, provides the international community with a roadmap to peace and a roadmap to prosperity. The Sustainable Development Goals are slated to relegate poverty and inequality to the annals of history, as well as allow every child to grow up in a world where his or her basic needs are met, rights are respected, and opportunities are readily accessible. I'm therefore pleased to note that the conference in June 2017 will have several objectives, the first of which is to establish formal engagements with governmental, non-governmental organizations, academia, and members of civil society on the localizing and measuring of the SDGs in the Caribbean. Secondly, it is expected to contribute to the body of knowledge on human development in the Caribbean and provide a forum where empirical evidence on human development in the region can be presented and discussed. There are expectations that the encounter will secure support from the research and academic communities in reporting on the SDGs, and as well as offer evidence-based solutions to guide policy on the SDGs implementation in the region. Finally, it is our hope that the conference will identify SDGs priorities and monitor progress at the regional level and present findings and recommendations that can inform national planning processes. I am particularly encouraged by the regional approach that is being taken, and by which the conference will allow governments of the Caribbean to strengthen resource mobilization strategies, enhance capacity to monitor the achievements of the SDGs, as well as share their approaches and perspectives on their implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to observe that Jamaica has been aligning its national developmental plan, the Vision 2030, with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. We are fully committed to the SDGs and realize that their successful implementation will serve to strengthen our capacity for an accelerated and sustained economic growth and consistent with the priorities of Vision 2030. In that regard, we are building capacities to coordinate sustainable development efforts across sectors and to ensure coherence across policy areas and between various levels of government. These are necessary steps if Jamaica is to implement strategies to achieve socio-economic development and security for all. The conference has the potential to broaden outreach and advocacy, connect people, ideas, and resources to solve our most pressing problems and to allow for the effective implementation of the agenda.